Hey, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. This is about Ed Buck, and he's now in federal custody uh, under drug charges and probably other charges, uh, maybe even murder, I don't know, or drug dealing as well, other things. He's under federal custody. What's interesting is he's in a bulletproof vest here in this next picture.
Charges him with distributing methamphetamine that directly resulted in the overdose death of Jamel Moore, a 26-year-old man who died in Mr. Buck's West Hollywood apartment on July 27, 2017. As a result of the case filed last night in the United States District Court, District Attorney Jackie Lacey agreed that Mr. Buck should be transferred to federal custody to face charges that carry a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years in federal prison and a maximum of life in prison without parole. Mr. Buck is now in federal custody, and he is making his first appearance in federal court this afternoon.
Now, we need to remember that Ed Buck, he has a lot of dirt on a lot of people. He was arraigned today, and he was wearing which looked like a bulletproof vest in.
This looks like a bulletproof vest, like he says. Just crazy stuff. Worried about being shot. I don't know what's on his shoulders and back or something. Crazy, crazy stuff.
In court. Why would he be wearing something like that? Because I do believe that those in certain places of power, they might be making a move on Ed Buck, just like they did with Epstein.
How easy is it to bump someone off in a federal prison? You got the right connections, it's not hard at all. Let's go to this next one here. Judicial Watch is finally going after Omar, and she needs to be hung out to dry. She needs to be finished politically.
An identity fraud. There is overwhelming evidence.
Now, how many frauds? We're talking about tax fraud. We're talking about identity fraud. We're talking about fraud with campaign funds.
Violation. Judicial Watch requested an ethics investigation into whether Representative Omar improperly used campaign funds for her paramour, Tim Mynett. Judicial Watch expanded their request for an ethics investigation into Omar after previously demanding a probe into allegations of marriage fraud, immigration fraud, tax fraud, and identity fraud.
4 different frauds. How much more fraud can you get? This gal should be hung up to dry and be criminally charged for these abuses. She's so negative about the United States. Well, if she breaks the law, she should be held accountable for breaking those laws. And he says there's overwhelming evidence of her marriage fraud to her brother. Here's another important part. Barack Obama Hussein used Ukraine and pressured Ukraine to do things they wanted to do. And there's some stuff with the Bidens in Ukraine that need to come out. And I believe it will set up the stack of cards to come out against Biden's son and other Biden Sr. And we're going to see how this all
to take it over. The Ukrainians did not agree, but then Joe Biden pressured Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko to fire Ukraine's chief prosecutor in March of 2016. And remember, Obama withheld funds and forced Poroshenko and forced them to change and not pursue the investigation. Under this, it says Hussein in all capitals and kill brackets. Now, Rudy Giuliani, he was on CNN and he railed against Chris Cuomo on his refusal to cover the Biden family corruption in Ukraine. Why is this all coming out right now? Because Trump and the Patriots knew that Adam Schiff, the deep state players, were going to use this, and they flipped it. And they used it to force the issue out into the open and to bring the players out into the open. They're hoping that these individuals will start to project. And guess what? They got exactly what they wanted. Hillary Clinton tweeted out, "The president asked a foreign power to help him win an election." No, that's not what Trump did. He didn't ask a foreign power to help him win an election. He didn't ask the Ukrainian individual to help win an election. That's not what he was doing. But that's what Clinton was doing. That's what Obama was doing. And Biden, he has his own problems. Trump responded. The radical left Democrats and their fake news media partners, headed up again by little Adam Schiff, and batting 0 for 21 against me, are at it again. They think I may have had a dicey conversation with a certain foreign leader based on a highly partisan whistleblower's statement. Strange that with so many other people hearing or knowing of the perfectly fine and respectful conversation, that they would not have come forward. Do you know the reason why they did not? Because there was nothing said wrong. It was pitch perfect. Do you see what Trump and the Patriots just did? They made the deep state expose themselves. Hillary Clinton is panicking. She's projecting what she, Biden, and Obama did. This was a beautiful setup. The Patriots heard the chatter and counted everything they were trying to do. And now they're exposing themselves. And guess what? Joe Biden's 2020 Ukrainian nightmare, a closed probe, has been revived. And they're looking into all of this. And now Giuliani's out there saying, listen, you need to report this. You're not reporting it because you don't want to admit it. There's a reason why they did all this. They're trapping them in their own agenda.
Yeah, I'm going to end it here. But this is all going to come out. It's all going to be exposed. They're going to be caught with their pants down and their private screw-ups, to say the least. And some heads will roll eventually in time. Probably it's going to get pretty hot between now and next election. This next year is probably going to be one of the hottest years in American history, politically speaking. Again, this is Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Support X22 Reports. I'm going to give you the full link on this. I mean, he brings out stuff that no one else does. And importantly, so important. Good day.